up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours. Quite a quiet 48 hours than we normally see, but still a lot of big topics to discuss. Firstly, apparently Kimmich is going to do a Lewandowski and push for a move out of Bayern Munich to join Barcelona this summer. We have the updates on that. Also, a quick update on Ilkay Gundogan situation. We gotta talk about the right back position as well, how the club may actually have to end up betting in-house on Julian, Araujo, Kounde, and Roberto, although we have been linked with Thomas Meunier and Julian Cancelo. Big update on Vitor Roque's operation as well. But of course, with players to come in, players have to leave the club this summer. Huge update, probably the biggest news over the past 48 hours has been on the situation of both Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati. The club and the coach have decided on who to sell first ahead of the other. Big news on that. But again, both players are technically on the market and both players do end up wanting to stay at the club. And finally, we do have a big contract renewal update on Ousmane Dembele. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already. And let's get into it. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 48 hours. Now, you first have an update on the transfer of Joshua Kimmich, where according to reports, Kimmich is going to do a Lewandowski and push for a move. Fernando Polo and Ferran Martinez Mundo Deportivo come out saying that Kimmich will put pressure on Bayern Munich in order to sign for Barcelona, just like Lewandowski did last year. Xavi's made it clear to the board that he wants them to go for Kimmich and try their best. Barcelona know that this operation will be incredibly difficult, but they will try to fulfill Xavi's request. Until I hear this report from Germany, I don't believe it. There is no way Kimmich is going to push for a move. And there's also no way that Barcelona, I think, are going to sign Kimmich, especially what Bayern Munich are going to demand for this player. There was a report a few weeks ago saying that, oh, Kimmich isn't for sale. It's coming in from Germany. I think it was Sky Germany. Kimmich isn't for sale. But if he is for sale, nothing less than 100 million will let him go from Bayern. And we ain't got that. That is, I don't even think our transfer budget is over 100 million. I think our transfer budget is about 100 million euros. So I cannot see this happening, even if Kimmich pushes for a move. But we'll wait and see. I still believe that Barcelona need to sign a top pivot. But the two that we have on our list are Kimmich and Zubimendi, and both those operations are looking very difficult. I think right now Zubimendi is a bit easier because all you have to do with Real Sociedad is activate a release clause. You don't even have to negotiate. It's all about just convincing the player. So we'll wait and see. I'll wait for a bit more reports from Germany. I think the ones from Spain are always rushing to conclusions and they're not as reliable as the ones coming in from Germany itself, and we saw that last year in the Lewandowski saga. But according to reports in Spain, Kimmich is planning on pushing for a move for Barcelona, but whether he pushes for a move or not, the operation is still very difficult. But a German midfielder who Barcelona have a very good chance of signing is, of course, Ilkay Gundogan, where at some point this week he will decide his future on whether or not to renew with Manchester City or join Barcelona this summer. Now, of course, Man City won the treble the past weekend. Congrats to them. More specifically, of course, congrats to the best manager of all time, Pep Guardiola. And again, he was the captain of the treble season, Gundogan, and now he has a decision to make. Here's some quotes coming in from post Champions League final. He told Moses Lawrence from ESPN that I haven't decided on my future yet. Then he told Plenty Gold that I don't know 100% yet. In the next few days, I will make a decision. It is true there are conversations going on in the background, but there is nothing yet decided fully. Then Gold came out saying that Barcelona want to close Ilkay Gundogan signing at some point this week. So Gundogan confirms at some point this week he will make the decision, and Barcelona are right there in the race. I personally think it's a 50-50. I can see him going both ways. Oh, you win the treble, good time to leave, try a new challenge. Or you win the treble, let's try and defend it. So I see it going both ways. I see a bit more Barcelona since Man City are trying very hard to sign Mateo Kovacic from Chelsea. So that could be signaling doors for Gundogan to leave. I also feel like Gundogan, he's at a point now where this is like his last chance to leave. Either he stays and basically retires at Man City, or he makes the move to Barcelona and try to help Barcelona do the exact same thing, hopefully treble as well. So wait and see with Gundogan, he would be a very, very good signing for Barcelona on a free transfer as well, and he will decide his future at some point this week. Now, Barcelona have been linked with a new midfielder over the past 48 hours, and that is Alex Baena, the midfielder for Villarreal. This is coming in from Moreto from Relevo, and he's come out saying that Alex Baena is a profile that Barcelona like due to his technical characteristics. It's one of those to keep an eye on this summer. His price makes the transfer difficult, but it cannot be ruled out. Now, I believe Alex Baena over the past season did renew his contract with Villarreal until 2028. So this is going to be quite the hefty transfer. I don't know what his release clause is, but I'm expecting in the region of 40 to 60 million euros. So I'm not really sure exactly. Look, this is not a player that strikes the world out of me. This is not a player that I would personally go for. I think he's, an alright player for Villarreal. I don't think he's Barcelona quality, although apparently Barcelona like his technical characteristics. I don't know if that means because he's versatile or he had beef with Federico Valverde. I have no idea, but apparently the club are keeping an eye on Alex Baena. We'll wait and see how this develops, but I think, again, he'll be too expensive for Barcelona in the end, and we want to spend that money on key areas that we need right now. Of course, Xavi's made it clear that he wants a pivot and an interior, and that hopefully will be Kimmich or Meunier or Ilkay Gundogan. But if, say, Ilkay Gundogan decides to renew with Man City, then the Alex Baena operation could end up opening. So keep your eyes on this if other operations do end up falling through, maybe like Sofiane Amrabat as well. But again, Barcelona are a big fan of Alex Baena. Now, along with the midfield, another priority for the club is to reinforce the right back position, but at the moment, unfortunately, it isn't a priority. Now, Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona have had a firm meeting to inquire about the potential loan deal of Julian Cancelo. So Barcelona are making moves in the right back position, although it's probably, say, 3rd or 4th on our top 5 list this summer. The club are still keeping an eye on possible transfers coming in, and also a new name has emerged that we haven't heard about in the past few months, and that is, of course, Thomas Meunier, because Jordi Cruyff, the Barcelona former sporting director, was the one who was pushing for him. He was a big fan, but now he is leaving. But his name has come up again. Manu Sanz came out saying that while Thomas Meunier has offers from Inter and Juventus, he prefers to wait for Barcelona. The Borussia Dortmund right back is a low-cost option that the board is considering. Honestly speaking, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'd rather Meunier than no one. I really, really do, because we just need a natural player in that position. I don't know what he costs. Hopefully he's in the single digits, like 7-8 million, whatever the case may be, but I would take him rather than nothing. And I also do believe he's better than Sergi Roberto, so it's better than what we've got, and it's very unfortunate that I think we've come to this stage. Now, on top of Roberto, there has been some big news coming out about the right back position from Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo. He came out saying that Xavi sees the signing of a new right back as a necessity, but not as a priority as of now. He bets on Kounde, Roberto, and Julian Araujo for the time being. However, a signing is not ruled out. It will depend on the financial situation. So again, Xavi wants a right back this summer, but he knows, the club knows, it's not like a top 3 signing. We need to pivot first, interior, backup striker, and then we can go for right back. Although, if we get Gundogan, that's the interior out of the way, we make a DM signing hopefully before preseason, and a backup striker before preseason. You're coming to July 19th or so, 1 month left in the window, you can go for right back. Hopefully that is the case. I am worried if we don't get a right back, because I am sure that Kounde will be very, very upset if he plays at right back again. He has verbally confirmed that he does not want to play at right back next season on Twitter, in the media as well. So I'm hoping for his sake, because I want him to stay, that we send a right back. And also, we need a right back. Sergi Roberto is absolute doo-doo at right back. Yes, he played decently in 2016, 17, maybe a bit in 2018, but that was it. That was in his prime years. He is now absolutely dusted. Every time he played right back this season, he was dreadful. In the midfield, he was a bit meh here and there. Julian Araujo, of course, we only saw him play 90 minutes against Vissel Kobe in a friendly. Way too early to judge him. But again, I'm not too upset with Julian Araujo and on the right back, whether Juan Cancelo, Thomas Meunier, just someone. I just don't want to rely on Julian Araujo, because what happens if he doesn't work out? What happens if he's not the standard? Then you're screwed, but then you can bet and take the risk. Maybe he's, ends up flying and playing well. It's a big risk. So we'll wait and see. I still do believe deep down the club will sign a right back at some point this summer, because I feel like it's very, very important, and I feel like there is enough time. You have 2 months of the window, all you have really is 3 positions ahead of the right back. You have the striker, pivot, and interior. Then the right back comes in. So I feel like the club can sign 3 players in the space of a month and a half. Even if you say worst case scenario, August the 1st, you have a month left. Hopefully we can even get a loan deal done for a right back, whether Julian, Cancelo, or someone else. But again, at the moment, the club are going to be betting on the players in-house for the right back position. Now, a player who is in Barcelona's top 3 priorities for the upcoming summer transfer window is, of course, Vitor Roque to come in the number 9 position to provide coverage and competition for Robert Lewandowski. Now, Joaquin Pereira, who of course is the number 1 source in regards to Brazilian players joining Barcelona or Brazilian news in general to Barcelona, he's come out saying that Barcelona will make a move to sign Vitor Roque as soon as the exit operations are done. He is Barcelona's number 1 priority for the backup striker this summer. The arrival of Deco will accelerate the talks to close his incorporation. So again, Javier Tebas has been speaking a lot in the media recently. He has confirmed that Barcelona are still in the 1-4 rule, so we can't actually spend money yet on Vitor Roque or any other player really, whether it's Joshua Kimmich or Vitor Roque. We must sell players first and go back in the 1-1 rule. That way we can spend money freely, because right now you can only spend a fourth of your transfer budget, so it leaves you in a bit of a mess. But again, I think it's very, very important that Vitor Roque is going to wait for us, and Barcelona are going to make a move on him. Again, we're hearing the price tag is around 40 million euros, but there's many ways to pay that. Loan with the materialize buy option, you can pay in installments, you can loan him back somewhere, whatever the case may be. There's so many avenues. There also are some reports that if Barcelona cannot sign Vitor Roque, they will go for a low-cost option like an Aubameyang or Marcus Thuram, wherever the case may be. But Vitor Roque is creme de la creme, number 1 priority. Of course, Xavi did confirm this in his interview the other day with Jordan Romero, saying he's a very good player. We want him, but of course, depending on the financial situation, meaning of course, financial fair play in La Liga. So we'll wait and see. This is probably the most encouraging news over the past 24 to 48 hours that Barcelona will 100% move on Vitor Roque once the exit operations are finalized. But over the past 24 hours, Barcelona have made technically their first signing of the summer, and it is the young defender Makyil Faye. This is coming in from Fabrizio Romano. It was an exclusive from him, and also the player has confirmed this on his social media, I believe on Instagram and Twitter as well. Not official from the club quite yet, but again, breaking. I think Chelsea sources also confirmed this because he was close to Chelsea and Dortmund. Fabrizio Romano came out saying that Barcelona is set to sign 18-year-old wonder kid center back Makyil Faye from whatever club that is. Deal agreed for 5 million euros plus add-ons. It will be signed soon. He was linked with Chelsea and Dortmund. Some Chelsea sources from Daily Mail came out saying that they're very disappointed to miss out on this player. Very, very promising center back. Alright, that's all good. Apparently, he's going to be joining Barcelona Athletic, which makes sense because, of course, the center back, Indigo, Ilkay Gundogan, Christensen, Araujo, he's got no chance. So, Barcelona Athletic, no problem whatsoever. We spent 5 million on him, lads. That's 5 million that you can get Thomas Meunier for. That's 5 million that can go towards Kimmich. That's 5 million that can go towards Vitor Roque. Why are the club spending this much money on B team players? Usually we see them spend 100,000, 500,000, a million, maybe 3 million at the absolute most. 5 million is a lot to spend on a Barcelona Athletic player. Yes, he may come good in the future. We'll think, oh, bargain, like with Araujo. It was what? We spent Araujo like, what, 1.2 million, whatever the case may be. We'll look back on it and think it's a bargain. Yes, but when you're currently in a financial situation and your first team needs strengthening, that is the priority. Barcelona Athletic got battered by Madrid Castile last night. You know, dodging penalties or whatever the case may be. And Xavi's come out numerous amount of times saying for Barcelona Athletic, their job is just to develop players. Their priority is not to get promoted. So why are we spending so much money on, a center back where they're trying to, compete for a playoff spot? It just doesn't make sense to me. I get it. He's a young talent. Hopefully it comes to fruition, but I'm a bit skeptical on the club spending this much money on a player. So now when we go hear news the next few weeks and whatever, oh, Julian Cancelo, we're missing 5 million. We can't sign because we don't have 5 million. We're going to look back on this and say, why did we spend that 5 million on Julian Cancelo and not on Makyil Faye? But club have done it. Hopefully he comes good. Again, it's not really confirmed whether it's the Barcelona first team signing or Athletic, but it probably will be for the Athletic team, for the B team, and they have made their first signing of the summer. Him and Chad Riyad. This would also signal a loan For Riyad, apparently the reports were that Barcelona lose to Real Madrid, Cancelo in the playoff spot, and Barcelona do not get promoted. Riyad will go out on loan this upcoming season, rightfully so. Hopefully, a team like Osasuna or Mallorca, a mid to lower level team in the league, and then Makyil Faye will come in at center back and take his spot in the B team. Let's now discuss the players who have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past 48 hours. First up, Barcelona will be making calls to the players who do not have futures at Barcelona very, very soon. Javi Miguel from AS came out saying that in the coming days, Alemany will call those who are not being counted upon next season. Ferran Torres' departure is one that is expected to be closed very quickly. Jorge Mendes, on the other hand, is trying to persuade Ansu Fati into a transfer, and Barcelona are also working on the sale of Ferran Torres. Of course, we heard that last Thursday, Xavi was supposed to communicate to the players who were going to be trusted next season to look for a new club, but now also Alemany will be making those calls to their agents as well. So hopefully next week we have some developments of who's really on the market, who Barcelona really trying to push out, although these have been the three main names in Kimmich, Ansu, and Ferran. Nothing's really materialized with their sales whatsoever, but we do have some big news on Ansu Fati and Ferran Torres in just a few seconds. But on Kimmich again, he's coming out publicly saying that he's not going to be leaving Barcelona, but everything still suggests at some point is in this summer that Barcelona will sell him. Inter Milan being very interested. Apparently they offered, Joaquin Correa and Dumfries for Kimmich on a swap, which isn't really bad on paper, to be honest. We do need a right back, but the club want just straight cash, 30 million. Inter Milan really want Kimmich, but don't want to offer 30 million. They want to offer swap deals. If they offer Brozovic and Dumfries, though, you take that every single day of the week. That's a bargain, by the way. But we'll wait to see on Ferran Kimmich. But again, the club are really pushing for his exit this summer. Now, without a doubt, the biggest news at Barcelona over the past 48 hours has been on the future of both Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati, which has gotten a lot of clarification recently. Now, the news broke from Luis Rojo from Marca. He's come out saying that as of now, Barcelona are more inclined towards selling Ansu Fati than Ferran Torres, and Fati's place will be occupied by the returning Abdi. Ferran still has a lot of amortization, while Ansu Fati, whose salary is pretty high too, has no amortization, being an academy player. Xavi believes that Ferran Torres can be an important player to the team, and Ferran knows that he was not good this season, but is convinced that he will improve. But as of now, he is not on the market. Woo! What in the actual hell is going on here? Ansu Fati is 2 years younger and has way more potential, and also he had a better season than Ferran Torres. But again, it just comes down to economic purposes. You have two players, both of them had a terrible season. One was better than the other. The other is coming in for 55 million euros. You have to balance the books in order to sell him. His salary is, alright. Another player who, if you sell straight profit, he has a very, very high salary. Of course, renewed his contract back in 2021 when Laporta first came in. Was that 2021? Yes, it was. 2021, Jorge Mendes. I remember in November, we were pushing for it. He's earning around 150,000 euros per week on Fati. I think Ferran Torres is under around 100,000. So again, it's purely economic purposes. But again, the club still internally believe in Ansu Fati. Ferran Martinez from Deportivo came out confirming the news, saying that Barcelona and Xavi prefer that Ansu Fati leaves, but with the option of returning. Xavi considers him a bomb forward, but sees him far from his best physical conditions and considers that he must play regularly, which is not guaranteed currently at Barcelona. Mundo Deportivo also came out saying that Ansu Fati continues to insist that he does not want to leave, even less to Wolves, and has informed this to Jorge Mendes. He intends to make a physical plan during the summer to improve his strength and his physicality. And finally, Fernando Porto from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Ansu Fati has officially told his agent Jorge Mendes that he does not want to leave Barcelona. However, Xavi cannot guarantee him minutes. If he is sold, the club would like to include a buyback option. Now, I'm sitting here reading all this and I'm thinking, why can't we just loan him? Loan him to a club where he'll play week in, week out, get him back that confidence, comes back to Barcelona the next season. The issue is, we're not in the capacity right now to loan players who are currently on 100 grand a week and have a value of around 70 to 80 million euros. I still believe in Ansu Fati. I think he does deserve one more season at Barcelona. I think physical conditions, his father coming out in the media, that does not help him at all. I think with Ferran Torres, he's a lost cause. I think there's no way back for Ferran Torres, in my opinion, but I see a way back for Ansu Fati. And I understand why the club are doing this. Again, it's economically. You have two players, 50-50 coin toss. I get it. One just benefits you financially incredibly, and the other one doesn't. It makes sense, but I'm still not a big fan of it. I am very, very interested to see how this plays out. I've been saying this now for months and months and months. Ferran Torres, Ansu Fati, gave me the two main names. We're going to be on the chopping block this summer. Very, very interested to see who will go first. The issue is that Luis Araujo said that Ferran Torres isn't on the market, where everyone else is still saying that Fernando Polo, Fernando Martinez, Javi Miguel. I think the club will sell Ferran Torres, but I think what they're saying is that it's better to sell Ansu Fati economically, and the offers won't come in for Ferran Torres, whereas for Ansu Fati, he does have a market because he's somewhat younger and he's still a very explosive forward. But the club do sell Ansu in any way, shape, or form. They do want to have the opportunity to bring him back in some sort of a capacity, buyback option, or whatever the case may be. So wait and see how this plays out. I do not agree based on the player profile, but economically speaking, it does make sense why Barcelona want to sell Ansu Fati first ahead of Ferran Torres. We'll wait and see how this plays out. I'm very intrigued and very interested in what the outcome is of the situation. Now, a player who will 100% be staying at Barcelona this summer is Andreas Christensen. Roger Tolor from Mundo Deportivo has come out saying that Christensen is officially an untouchable for Barcelona and for Xavi. The club does not plan to sell him, and the player does not plan to leave, even if there is big offers on the table. Of course, we've been hearing Aston Villa and Newcastle over recent weeks, but Christensen will be staying. Again, we knew this a few months ago when Gerard Romero came out saying the whole entire backline, Balde, Christensen, Araujo, Kounde are not for sale. Offer of 100 million euros might, raise a few eyebrows, but other than that, they're all untouchable. No real news here. I think the only thing now is basically just confirmation and clarification as well. There have been reports, Premier League clubs sniffing around, maybe bidding 80 million euros, tempting Barcelona, tempting Andreas Christensen as well. But as of now, unless barring an outrageous offer, I think in my opinion, the Danish center back will continue at Barcelona and hopefully have another big season under his belt. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is give you guys a contract renewal update on Ousmane Dembele. Gabriel Sanz from Mundo Deportivo has come out saying the renewal talks with Ousmane Dembele are progressing very well, and the goal is to reach an agreement until 2027 as soon as possible. The new contract is already taking shape, and the contacts are continuing. Again, I think it was Fernando Polo in the last video who said again, positive talks, just looking at the release clause. Sorry, it was Alfredo Martinez looking at the release clause and wages, few tweaks here and there, but the main conditions of the contract, of course, Dembele is very happy with them, which is fantastic news. No drama this time, no year-long renewal talks and collapsing and asking for a Ballon d'Or salary. Looks like his agent Moussa Sissoko has calmed down since the recent saga where he got absolutely a lot of backlash, especially for me. So again, fantastic news. Hopefully we can renew Dembele by the end of this month, because again, his 50 million euro release clause will kick in at the beginning of July. If someone comes in and activate that, Barcelona will only get 25 million euros, while his agent and the player will get the other 25 million euros as per his renewal last summer to speed up the process of renewing his contract. So hopefully all goes well, and hopefully we can renew his contract by the end of this month. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing obviously, of course, is on Joshua Kimmich. Do you believe he'll actually push for a move to Barcelona? Do you think that move will actually materialize? Secondly, on the right back dilemma, would you just stick with in-house and bet on Araujo, Kounde, and Roberto? Would you go for a low cost option in Meunier, or bet on a big deal with Julian Cancelo? Thirdly, your thoughts on the Ferran Torres, Ansu Fati sale. Who would you sell? Would you rather sell Ferran, Ansu, both? Do you think both will end up staying? What do you think will result in the situation? And do you agree with the club, looking at this more of an economic point of view and selling Ansu over Ferran? And find your thoughts on the renewal of Ousmane Dembele, and do you believe it'll get done before the end of this month? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and force the Barca.